the importance of micro-lending is, been proven in how much it's done in Bangladesh and other parts of the world. But more important, I think, was the notion, the difference that one person can make. From small things to bigger things. That each one of you has the opportunity to really make a difference. To work at it. Think about what you can do. It is very frustrating trying to get to peace. I mean, we've done a lot of work, and I just met yesterday with the Minister of Foreign Affairs, talking about his recent trip to the Middle East. That has been a difficult time, obviously. In Norway, quite familiar with the Oslo Accords and the attempt that Norway has made to bring peace to the Middle East. It's very frustrating. It is difficult, but it is really worth working on it. And each individual can make a major difference. And Mohammed Yunus really pointed that out to everybody at that conference. And when you see something that's wrong, when you see something that can be fixed, something that can be improved, you should work on it. You should make sure that things happen. Make this a better world. Make sure it's your obligation to really work on those things and do things of that nature. So it's really a lot of inspiration, a lot of very good discussions. But it was a wonderful session on food insecurity. We had leaders of international food companies and some energy companies talking about, what we only need in many parts of this third developing world. It's food, it's water, and it's energy. And the absolute need to bring that to so many places in the world. And I must say, this experience for me in Norway has been really outstanding. The Norwegians are a country of 5 million people. I hope you appreciate how much you do in the world on human rights and so many other issues. I mean, as a very close ally of the United States, we are constantly looking to the Norwegians to be on our side, to work with you, because you are such an example to so much of the world of how we can improve human rights and work together. I mean, there's so many examples, and it's really amazing when I talk about the 5 million people here and what you all do. One of my experiences in Minnesota, I've become friendly with Walter Mondale. I don't know if any of you remember him at all. He is Norwegian, and when I met with him, he said, I've been the Vice President of the United States. I've been a senator from Minnesota. I've been the U.S. ambassador to Japan. He said, the best job in the U.S. government is being the ambassador to Norway. And I think he's right. This has been a really great experience. And I said that was wonderful. While I was out there, I went to Augsburg and to St. Olaf's and the University of Minnesota as well while I was there. And they all have some great programs. And I assume you've got some students that have gone there to some of these schools over the years. And a lot of very interesting things that they are doing. And your particular peace program, I guess, I missed the presentation, but I understand you're working with in cooperation with the University of North Dakota and in South Africa and working on a peace project. And I just want to encourage you to keep doing that. And just remember that you can all individually make a difference. And to remember that and think of that every day. What am I going to do? What am I doing? How can I make a difference? Right now, the most difference you can make, I'm going to speech on studying and getting as much background education as you can and the opportunity to study in one of our great universities in the United States, which I think many of you are looking to do, if not all of you. And to the extent we can help, we'd love to. We just put on a college fair that you were at, and I think trying to help students get into the U.S. Academic institutions. But what I'd also like to do, and I'd love to hear if anybody has any questions. You've got the U.S. ambassador in front of you. What do you want to know? What can I help you with? Anything? Anybody? Questions on anything? I'll tell you. If I can't tell you, I'll tell you. Anything you're interested in. You look excited about that. No? I don't need a call answer.
I don't have a specific question, but I'm just wondering, what can we do as college students right now to help anyone in the world, to help the world become a better place for someone?
Well, first of all, I said study and get an education to be prepared. Look at, you've got, one of the things, you've got an absolute fabulous Ministry of Foreign Affairs here. Whatever your politics are, this is as professional as an organization as there is in the world. When anybody is interested in international world, whatever, your Ministry of Foreign Affairs is a great preparation and training. Other things you can do, I don't know that much about the community here in Moss, but one of the things that we've noticed that There are issues in integrating immigrants into the society and working, helping them learn language. You know, but a lot of people from third parts of the world have language issues, and what we have in the United States, sort of integration issues. So, you know, go look at some community organization where you can help some people get benefit into this particular community. Is the, you know, kind of thing to do. Lots of people will volunteer at hospitals and do other kinds of things that will help individual people. On the international scene, you keep with this kind of a program. I don't know anybody who's involved with the Model UN programs and things of that nature. You know, those things. And have any of you been exchange students in the U.S.? You know, there's a lot of opportunities there when you're there to get a sense. I don't know enough about the Norwegian opportunities to volunteer. You've got a slightly different system than we have in the U.S. Your government is more involved in the charitable and providing for people than in the U.S. So in the U.S. we have a lot more charity. Not that we give more to people, because your government does so much, but we have more volunteerism. And that's something I think you can see more of in Norway. It'd be interesting to see more of you participate, both either at hospitals or you know, in community activities, sport activities, teaching some immigrants and others how to get involved in different Norwegian activities, teaching them how to ski. I mean, there's a lot of opportunity for, you know, there's a lot of Somalians in Norway that are in Oslo have been involved in, you know, I suspect none of them know what skis are. It's interesting just even helping them do that to integrate in society. Anything else? Yes?
The college years go very fast.
All years go very fast.
All years.
I mean, I've been here 3.5 years, but I think I just got here yesterday. College years do go fast.
There's so many opportunities for young people, and like I said, those college years go very fast. And do you have any advice to their second semester in their bachelor's degrees? They're going over to the U.S. to large universities. Do you have any advice for them of how to take the bull by the horns, or any advice on what you wish you would have done different in your college years?
That's a difficult question. It's going back many years and well, I mean, you know, one of the things is get into the scene with your fellow students. You will find, no matter what school you're at, there are dozens and dozens of clubs and activities. I think you don't see as much activity here I mean, you know, if you're into music, there are music clubs. There are clubs that put on productions, acting. If you're into sports, there are all kinds of activities that you can get into. If you're into politics, now sometimes people have it hard to believe, given my background as a strong Democrat and supporter. I was a Harvard Young Republican as a student. I've come a long way. More likely, I'd like to say, the Republicans have come a long way in the other direction. They've sort of left me from where I was. But, you know, so there are a lot of political activities and clubs that you can join. There are sports clubs, there are music clubs. You know, search out that. And, you know, with the internet now, before you go to school, look up the college you're going to and see what kind of activities they have. And so you'll find everything. You'll find clubs that are involved in international activities, political activities. There's lots and lots of opportunities to volunteer. And if you want to be an officer of a class, you know, you can run to become, you know, the president of your class, or, you know, just so many activities you'll be, don't get overwhelmed by it. And also, depending where your school is, there's lots of, you know, Boston, in my view, is the best city in the world to go to school in. And, you know, there are unbelievable activities in the city as well as at your college and university. It's not hard. And it's in the cultural, there's a big difference in culture between the United States and Norway that I've noticed. Norwegians, I'll get in trouble here, tend to be a little bit reserved on first meeting. I found that they get to be very warm and friendly when you get to know them. In fact, more friendly and more open than Americans are. But Americans tend to be very open and friendly initially. So it's very easy to make friends. And, you know, I say this, I walk along the street in Oslo, and people don't exactly wave at you or say hello to you. In New York or Boston, also, they will. They may not be friends, but they'll be open. So they'll welcome the opportunity to be friends and provide you with opportunities to get into activities. Pretty welcoming society that way. Yes?
So you part of the Norwegian government that you wish that you would see kind of practiced in the American style of government, now that you've been here for a while?
different governments, they're very different styles, we get a very different culture. I mean, yes, look, there's a lot more benefits that you provide for people in a less fortunate situation than we do in the United States. We have, you have a more sort of social involvement, the socialist, capital, I forget what the term is, socialist capitalist system. We're much more of a capitalist system, and we provide less benefits for people at the lower end, and we probably should do more. On the other hand, you've got a bureaucracy that sometimes it can be difficult to get through.
What kind of law did you practice?
Well, I try to say I was a good lawyer, you know. Yeah, corporate business and a lot of nonprofit. I represent a lot of nonprofit organizations, a lot of business transactions, international transactions, and things of that nature, and I say a lot of nonprofit and some government relations. We have lots of lawyers in the United States, a lot more than you do, and it's a little bit different there. We have a lot more litigation. Yes?
How did you go from being a lawyer to being involved in politics?
Excuse me?
How did you go from?
Well, once again, I got involved, as a lawyer, I got involved in, well, actually, I said go back to college. I got involved with Harvard Young Republican activities while I was in college. I got a little bit of taste of politics. I went to work at the law firm, and there were lots of opportunities to get involved in politics, mainly through fundraising in the beginning. Our political system was a little bit different than yours, and we raised $2 billion in the last presidential campaign that we spent by the Democrats and Republicans. So there were lots of opportunities to get involved, also in policy and stuff. So while I was at the law firm, actually there was a couple of friends who ran for public office. So I got involved in their campaigns. And in fact, one of my law partners ran for president in 1992, and I was the chairman of his presidential campaign. So that was interesting. There was a guy named Paul Saunders who was beaten by somebody named Bill Clinton, I think it was. But we did okay. We won a number of states, but it was, it's been interesting. It's not very hard. And anybody who wants to get involved in a political campaign, as non-Americans, you can't contribute, but you can certainly work in campaigns. Anybody would love to hear it. I'm afraid I got to go off and do something, and I'll be right back.
Yes, thank you, Ambassador White. Ambassador White is going to be interviewed by NFL, and then he will be back. It is my pleasure to introduce Signy, fabulous ACN student, also part of the ACN Peace Committee. She will be performing her song and showing her music video. She wrote, recorded, edited the song. She wrote, recorded, edited the video. The students in the video are ACN students. The video made me cry the first time I saw it. It was on the last day of the Nobel Peace Prize for it. So Signy, the floor is yours.
for the passion eats from the ribs, human flesh on walls. Those eyes, the one who shoots me feelings within feelings, grief is gone. We act like we are about to go to war. The trust declines when it just hits the floor. We keep on lying to the mysterious man. Eyelashes are dragged off and put into flames. Oh, I feel it goes within my skin. Oh no, we feel we have to lock ourselves in. Oh, this stranger, give me a kind smile. Don't go. The streets falter when left alone. I'm lost in thoughts. It's cold out here. I'm lost in thoughts.
Thank you, Cindy. I never thought that in January, that when we started talking about an ACN Peace Committee, that things like Cindy and her work would come out of it. I invited students interested in playing an active role in the Nobel Peace Prize Forum participation to a meeting, and approximately 20 students of 65 showed up. And I explained in more detail about the partnership with the Nobel Peace Prize Forum and what our students at ACN did last year. And I remember someone saying, do we have to do that? No. You can do whatever you want. This is your committee. And we went around the table, and I think in about less than half an hour, we had a long list of really exciting projects that the students themselves wanted to do, suggested, and made my job very easy because I didn't have to do anything. I just said that. And throughout the semester, I've been in regular contact with the Executive Director of the Nobel Peace Prize Forum, Maureen Reed, whom the ambassador mentioned earlier, and keeping her informed about all of the work that our students have been doing. And Maureen, she sent a personal greeting to ACN, and I just received it last week, and I haven't given it to you guys because I wanted to read it tonight. It says, Dear Becky and the ACN students, my thanks are with you for your participation in the 2013 Nobel Peace Prize Forum, and for the lovely gift to the forum created by Viva Squadru, ACN student. Your students at ACN have many talents and much energy. The world needs all that they have to offer. And she is so right. And the ambassador also touched on that as individuals we have the opportunity and the possibility to make a difference. And it was fun making a difference with all of you this year. I look forward to next year with new students. Before I introduce ACN student and student from the University of North Dakota, Haley Kunst, I would like to recognize the students that have dedicated so much time and energy to this project. You guys want to stand up? Maria Anderson. Tony Hallsteindahl. Tim Brink. Stefan Barazesh. Else Gunnarsdottir. Malin, aka Emma. Jordan Seneca. Andrew Wynn. Andrew is also from the University of North Dakota. Inger-Lise Ludvigsen. Cheyenne Paris from Adelphi University. Vanessa Olsen. Sigrid Liam, who just sang for us. Ingrid Eskeland. Charlotte dos Santos. Isabel Grønslett. Vive Skarbo. And finally, Haley Kunst. Haley has literally been my right-hand man throughout this project, and without her assistance, we wouldn't have been able to go as big as we have. And she has been invaluable. She has done amazing work, and she is a senior at the University of North Dakota, doing a semester at the American College of Norway, and I'm so glad you chose American College of Norway to do that. And Haley is going to give a little bit of an overview of what the students have done here at ACN throughout the semester.
Like Becky said, my name is Haley. I'm a student at the University of North Dakota, and I'm so glad I came to ACN because I got to work with Becky on this internship, which has been amazing. Let me play this slideshow. These are just some pictures of what the Peace Committee has been up to this semester, and I'm going to tell you more about that. So many of the students, or most of the students at ACN, are just embarking on their college careers, and I'm a senior in my last semester. I'm graduating in a short month. Because of that, I've completed and already fulfilled most of the Essential Studies coursework offered here. So, I was given the very unique and special opportunity to intern alongside Becky with the Peace Committee as a sort of student assistant. This semester, I worked with moderating our blog site, which is wonderful if you haven't checked it out yet, helped facilitate the Facebook page, and helped coordinate a lot of the behind the scenes that goes on behind the Peace Committee. So when I first sat down with Becky and Krista to discuss my internship and what it was going to be, they explained the whole concept of ACN promoting peace, and we decided to come up and establish a peace committee, which would consist of interested and eager and willing students. And like Becky said, we had a lot of them. Our goal was very clear. It was to inspire dialogue about global issues, to encourage students to be engaged in peace-related matters, and finally, to connect our students with other students from around the world, namely the University of North Dakota and Nelson Mandela University. We would make these connections through sharing ideas. I was still a little foggy after this meeting on how exactly our students were going to promote peace. It seemed like such a vague concept. You know, peace is such a vast idea. Peace is subjective, and peace is personal, and peace is multifaceted. It has so many components to it. Peace is defined by perspective. One's definition of peace may vary depending on their age, their gender, their location, their ethnicity, their socioeconomic status, you know, the list goes on. So I wondered then how our students were going to express their own ideas about a topic that can be looked at from so many different ways. And as it turns out, the answer was pretty simple. Our students expressed their own ideas on peace in a lot of different ways. The students in the Peace Committee offered their own creative contributions based on their passions, interests, and talents, and we had such a variety of contributions from these students. Several students offered to blog for our website. We published postings every single week on various topics that the students chose themselves, ranging from drone wars to child soldiers. We had a post on the benefits of video games and offshore oil drilling. These students spent the time to research topics that were important to them, but also topics that they felt needed to be shared. And they were shared. Our website had visits from over 15 countries. So our blogs were viewed literally around the world, which was our goal. We had over 1,000 views. We were also very active on Facebook. We posted links to our blog. We posted photos taken by students at all of our Peace Committee events. And students shared outside content that they thought was peace-related and important enough to share with all our friends. This was just another way to stay connected with those around the world and also, again, spark that dialogue, which was our goal. We had a few very talented students offer their talents in filmmaking by creating videos for our blog and Facebook page. One video was an interview with Anna Simonson, who discussed Bertha von Suttner and her peace work and her legacy. And if you haven't checked that video out, it was very, very good. We had another video where students and faculty who attended the Holocaust Museum on a field trip gave their opinions on what their experience was like. And this video was so great because we talked to Americans and Norwegians alike, and we talked to students and teachers. So it was such a great look into that. And what we just saw, Sigrid's music video, was amazing and so powerful. So the talent at our school is just, it was overwhelming. I totally was not expecting such great work from our students. No offense, but it was really, really good. We also, two of our students also offered to write, compose, and perform their songs. One we just heard, one we're going to hear pretty soon. These two women from our school that wrote these songs, their songs are so vastly different, but yet they're both about peace and their interpretations of peace. We have one song about, you know, inner peace within yourself, and the next song will be about peace with others. And it was, again, so impressive. I couldn't have asked for anything more. We also had students who volunteered to create their artwork. They expressed what peace means to them through these works of art, as you can see. If you can't see, I suggest you check it out after this. So we're so thankful for that. We had a really fun event in March. As we talked about, there was the Nobel Peace Prize Forum in Minneapolis, and some representatives from ACN had the opportunity to attend, which was awesome. So back home, we decided to really rally for them. We planned a weekend-long event and watched a live stream of the forum. So we got to watch the incredible speakers that spoke and submit questions electronically in real time that were asked at the forum. And we're told that ACN's name came up a lot, which is so awesome. So we really made our presence known while having food and, having fun, and we played some games, and it was a really great turnout. One of the ongoing tasks that we conducted also this semester were our Peace Cafes. The Peace Cafes are meetings to openly discuss questions and ideas with others, designed after Socrates and his style of discussion. We held Peace Cafes in class as well as one outside of class, which was joined by Anna Simonson. These discussions also took place in North Dakota and South Africa. These dialogues about peace focused on three main questions. The first, what is peace? What is a global citizen? And how can we ensure lasting peace? When we compiled the responses from the reflections, we found many similar and overlapping themes. Participants from all three schools defined peace as happiness, empowerment, respect and love. Words like compromise, unification, resolve, and understanding came up over and over. It was determined that a global citizen has certain characteristics: awareness, fairness, sacrifice, and contribution. A global citizen is exposed to other cultures and not afraid to be exposed to new perspectives. A global citizen is informed and has the world's best interests at heart. Perhaps the most difficult question to answer was, how can we ensure lasting peace? Some students questioned if such a task is even possible. Other answers included that you must find peace first within yourself, you must believe in humanity and embrace differences. Other suggestions were end greed, reduce arms, eliminate poverty, and above all, share knowledge. Among some of the recurring ideas that emerged from these cafes was maintaining dialogue. Such a simple idea, and it's so easy to do. Whether it's the peace within oneself, as Sigrid's song suggests, or peace among nations, which we see every day in the news. Change first requires awareness that develops into dialogue. With these two initiatives, we can, collectively and as individuals, inspire change. We have decided to embark on the task of spreading what we've accomplished as a group throughout our community. Our project idea involves creating conversation cards with interesting facts about peace-related topics that spark curiosity and provoke conversation. The cards will be dispersed to local businesses, like coffee shops, for example. Awareness is everything, and discussing important issues, even if only for a minute among close friends, can provide just enough motivation to make change. The Peace Committee has given each of us a taste of the many and diverse global issues and the more abstract ideas relating to peace. We hope that as the semester ends and our students move on and go their separate ways, that they take to heart what they gained by taking part in ACN's unique program. As I thought about this presentation last night, I was watching the tragedy in Boston, Massachusetts unfold. For those of you who don't know, there was an assumed terrorist attack at the Boston Marathon. At that same time, I read a Twitter update about an explosion in Iraq that killed over 40 people and wounded hundreds. And I thought, where does it stop? I couldn't help but think the world needs more people like our students. People who are insightful and informed. People who are compassionate and proactive. We have the right idea here. We are global citizens. I have no doubt that the students who emerge from ACN, now and in the future, will do so much good in the world. So I want to thank Becky and Krista for providing me this opportunity, and thank you for all the members of the Peace Committee. You have educated me, impressed me, and inspired me. Thank you.
I cry really easy. are running over time like usual, and I'm not going to say anything other than Jordan, the floor is yours. Jordan. Jordan and Elsa were the two who were chosen through the both essay competition and video competition to be sponsored to go to the Nobel Peace Prize Forum. So Jordan, it is all yours.
Thank you. Thank you, Becky, and thank you, Haley, for this amazing speech. I don't think I'll manage to top that. Yes, so Elsa wrote an amazing essay about peace, which got her selected to the Nobel Peace Prize Forum, and I made a short video where I presented similar themes. When I enrolled ACN last semester, I didn't expect to return to the US for at least 300 days. So, but then the opportunity arrived to be able to go to the Nobel Peace Prize Forum and see these amazing speakers. And I'd just like to say thank you so much for everyone who has made this happen, because it was a tremendous opportunity and I will never forget it. So, Elsa, Becky, Krista, Anna Simonsen, and myself went to the Nobel Peace Prize Forum in March. It was scheduled Friday, I don't remember the date, but it was a Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, so 3 days. And on these days, there were some illustrious speakers who spoke, and I'm going to tell a bit about the ones that marked me the most. I'd like to begin talking about Tawakkol Karman, which was actually the last speech. Tawakkol Karman has been fighting for women's rights and for people's rights in general in Yemen, and she had a really powerful speech. I'm sure you can see all these speeches on the Nobel Peace Prize website. And what I really liked about Tawakkol Karman's speech was that it seemed like she brought her whole country with her in the actual Nobel Peace Prize. She made people sing. She was like, and it was really amazing. I hope you can watch it on the internet. But what she said, what I retained from her speech, and she said that if you have a strong idea, she said the rest is just details. And I remember that what she said. Yes. So there were also other speakers such as Peter Ager, which won the Nobel Prize in Chemistry for his work on various proteins that are used today in medicine. And Peter Ager, what I thought was interesting about his presentation was that he talked about science. A lot of the other speakers were talking about medicine or politics and conflicts, but he was talking about science. And I would like to become a scientist in the future, and to explain how even within science, something that is it's very secular it's very different from peace. And I asked him actually, how can I, for example, in the future, as a physicist or as an astronomer, help the cause of peace? And he told me that no matter what you're doing, I mean, if you become an artist, if you become a scientist, and you travel around the world, you will meet these other people, you will make connections in the world. And he told me that, well, he said that these are connections that represent peace of some sort, and no matter what you will do, you will cause peace in the end. And so I thought that was interesting, this idea of connections around the world. Also, I saw Paul Farmer, which is a co-founder of the Partner in Health program, and he has brought health services, especially in Africa, but around the world. And he held a speech about, one point in the speech I remember was about leadership, how he said there are enough resources in the world to provide public health for everyone. theater that the Middle Eastern people were doing, or different films, and I really encourage you to watch her presentation if you can. It was very interesting. It gave another insight into the Middle Eastern culture. Malcolm Potts, as Ambassador Barry White talked about earlier, is a reproductive scientist, and he wrote a book called Sex and Marriage. Right, yeah. And he basically told us that women are the key to peace. He made an elaborate presentation about how hormones in the men's body kind of affect their choices, but women lack that hormone and they are able to think more clearly. He said that in different species, in hyenas and these different animals that have too much of a certain hormones, these are the only ones to kill each other. So women don't do that. So not only him, but also when we saw Robin Wright talk and Toby Carmen talk, I really understood that investment in women is something that is very important and that we must absolutely not ignore. And finally, Muhammad Yunus, which was the first speech, I think Muhammad Yunus made a strong impact on me, and I think what he made such a strong impact is because he spoke with such simplicity. It sounded like he resolved the world problem like this. So yeah, he invested in microcredits, and he founded Grameen Bank, and he didn't only do microcredits. And before I saw his presentation, I wasn't sure about what he had done other than that. But he has made many social businesses that not only generate profit, but also solve problems around the world. And what he, as Mr. Garber said, what he said was, if you can help someone in your life, no matter how small it is, if you can help someone, do it. And that's exactly what he did. There was just a group of people who needed a small loan. So he took the money out of his own pocket, gave them a small loan, and it worked. So he kept going, and they involved in the whole Bangladesh, and now it's all over the world. He also explained how poor people, he said poor people are not poor because they're incompetent or they're less good than other people. He said poor people lack the opportunities. And so what Muhammad Yunus wants to do is